Now, conic sections, sheet 6. F is the focus of a parabola. So F is the focus of a parabola, P is a point on the curve, and D is a point on the directrix. So P on the curve, D on the directrix. And part A, draw a portion of the curve. Part B, draw a tangent to the curve which shall be parallel to the line DF. Okay, getting started on this one. F is the focus and point P is a point that is on the curve. So as we know with the parabola, once again, the eccentricity of a parabola is equal to 1. The ratio of the distance from points to the focus over point directrix is 1 over 1. So equal distance from the point to the focus and the point to the directrix. So I can just swing that around. Now, for anyone that did go ahead and look at the solution, maybe just to see was your own question right, you'll see a little construction dropped in here. Usually it's not required. I might as well just go through it again. This is right back to junior sector, really. If we completely ignore the topic at hand and just say, right, I want to draw a tangent from a point to a circle, well, you join the point to the center, you bisect the distance, and you spin your semicircle. So we'll just go ahead and do it. It's on the solution. And just in case anyone thinks that that's linked to a later, harder part of the question, open your compass to more than halfway. Now, I know that this line is vertical, so I don't need to bisect left and right. I can just go one side only. I can bring my horizontal across. That gives me the center of the line. And from there, I can set up a semicircle. Open your compass into the point P or out to the point D and sky. The whole idea of that, just bit of revision here, back to junior cert really, back to first year I think. That's the normal, that's the tangent. So if we can have a normal and a tangent within a semicircle, the angle at the top is going to be our 90-degree angle. So that's just a little construction that was dropped in there, not linked at all to any of the harder later stages of this question. Everything's falling. If I have the angle of my directrix, I can run off 90 degrees through my focus and I get my axis right there at 90 degrees. So there's D1. What did we ask you? Next we're asked to draw a portion of the curve. So to draw the portion of the curve, we can either use the method I went through in video, what was that, 3 and 4, or we can use the method that we're used to using, the line of eccentricity method. So whatever you prefer to do really here. I'm going to pause the video for just a few seconds, get the curve drawn, or portion of the curve anyway, and restart it then to go through the final part. Okay, just to resume this drawing. So what I've done there since pausing the video, first job I did was I ran off here with my line of eccentricity at 45 degrees for a parabola. So my rise over run, or run over, or sorry, I should say run over rise. It's 1 and 1, so 45 degrees for the other line. Second thing I did was I dropped in my lattice rectum there and extended it right on through my pink line. I plotted out some points, or before that, in my purple detail here, from the focal point I went at 45 degrees to the axis, up, hit the line of eccentricity, back down parallel to the directrix, and found my vertex. Just happens that I think it just about coincides there with that curve. That's pure chance really. But it's the 45 degrees up and then back down to the axis gives us our vertex. And then in green, I just dropped one ordinate in there between the vertex and focus, and I dropped 1, 2, 3, 4 in here, and I think I spaced them out at maybe 12, 24, 36 and 48 mil. Bring your ordinates up to hit the line of eccentricity, across to hit the lattice rectum, and from the focal point then swing back down to get the correct position on the ordinates. I mirrored some of the points across the axis then. Actually, before I talk about that, right there, of course, that the focal point on the lattice rectum, where it hits the line of eccentricity, is a point on the curve. Because the line of eccentricity is a tangent on the latus rectum. So that's a point in the curve. Point P just happened to line up perfectly with this point I matched up with here, so I came up onto the line of eccentricity, across and swung it down, landed on point P there, and then I just mirrored a few points across. So I mirrored this point across, I mirrored the end of my latus rectum across, and one extra. Last part, draw a tangent to the curve which shall be parallel to the line DF. So parallel to the line DF. Now, in setting up this drawing, my line DF was vertical. What we'll do is this, we're just adding a different colour here so that it's a bit clear. I'm going to draw any chord. So I'm going to go as big as I can here, even though it's gone up into the text a little bit. I'll just draw a chord right there. Okay, so any chord through the object like that, parallel to the line DF. So that chord, I just put maybe my 2 strikes in it there, and there. That chord is parallel to the line DF. I'm going to just bisect that chord and find the center point of it. So and there's my chord bisected right here, and from that bisect point I'm going to go parallel to the axis. So I take the angle of my main axis, and from that bisect point I'm going to go parallel, and after all that I get a point of contact. That is the point of contact for the tangent that is parallel to the line DF, and it is also parallel to the chord that we constructed. So there, that's my point of contact. There's my tangent, and that tangent, if I just put my 2 dashes on this again, is parallel right there. So no matter what chord we picked that was parallel, if I picked a much smaller one here, the center point would still be on that same line. And again, if I had lots of extra space and picked a much larger chord, the center of the chord would still fall linear with the path that's drawn here. Every parallel chord would have a center point on that line, and then when we move outside the object at this outer POC, we get our tangent. So that's the end of sheet 6. I'll be moving on to 7 and some more now in the coming videos. Hope this helps. Thanks very much.